In a faraway future, there was a huge city filled with tall, shiny buildings and robots everywhere. This city was unlike any other place in the world. People no longer did many things themselves because robots had taken over most jobs. Cars flew. In the sky, streets were glowing with lights and machines hummed softly all around. It was a city of technology and progress, but also a city where something very important was missing: warmth and friendship. In this big robot city lived a young girl named Maya. She was just 10 years old, with bright eyes full of curiosity. But even with so many people and machines around, Maya often felt very lonely. You see, most children in the city spent their time playing with smart devices or learning from digital screens. They did not talk much with each other, and many preferred to stay inside their homes, glued to their gadgets. Maya did not have many friends. She loved to explore the city on her own, wandering through quiet streets and looking at the tall metal towers. She enjoyed watching the robots move and work, some cleaning the streets, others delivering packages, and some even cooking food in futuristic restaurants. But despite all this, Maya wished she could find a friend who would understand her. Someone to share her dreams and fears. Every day, after school, Maya would sit in the park near her home. The park was small but filled with strange glowing plants and tiny machines buzzing like bees. Sometimes she would talk to the robots she met there. Although they could not speak like humans, their lights would blink and their screens would show simple faces. Maya imagined they were listening to her stories and comforting her when she felt alone. One afternoon, as the sun began to set behind the city's skyscrapers, Maya saw something unusual. A small robot was sitting by itself on a bench, its metal body scratched and dusty. It looked different from the shiny new robots she was used to seeing. Curious, Maya approached it slowly. "Hello," she said softly. The robot's eyes lit up in surprise. "Hello, human," the robot replied in a quiet, gentle voice. Maya was amazed. This robot could talk. "My name is Maya," she said. "Who are you?" "I am R1X," the robot answered. "I was made long ago, before this city became full of new machines. I was forgotten and left behind." Maya felt sad for R1X. The robot seemed lonely too, just like her. She decided to befriend him. From that day on, Maya and R1X met every afternoon in the park. They talked about many things: the city, dreams, and even fears. Maya taught R1X about human feelings, and R1X showed Maya the city from a robot's point of view. The robot told stories about the past when machines and humans worked together closely. As time passed, their friendship grew stronger. Maya no longer felt lonely. She realized that even in a city full of machines, friendship and kindness were still possible. R1X became her protector and guide, helping her understand the wonders and dangers of the robot city. One day, Maya learned about a problem in the city. A big storm was coming, and it could cause serious damage to the robots that worked all day and night. Many machines depended on electricity, and if the storm cut the power, they might stop working. Worried about her new friend and the other robots, Maya asked R1X if there was anything she could do. "We must protect the energy centers," R explained. "If those are safe, the city will keep working." Maya decided to help. She gathered a few other children who also wanted to protect the city's robots. Together, they created plans to secure the power stations and keep the robots safe during the storm. When the storm arrived, heavy rain poured down and strong winds blew fiercely. But thanks to Maya and the children's efforts, the energy centers were protected. The robots kept working, cleaning the streets, helping people, and even delivering emergency supplies. After the storm passed, the city was still bright and alive. People started to realize how important it was to work together, humans and machines, side by side. Maya's bravery and kindness became known across the city. She was no longer just a lonely girl. She was a symbol of hope, showing that even in a world full of robots, human feelings and friendship could make a difference. From that day forward, Maya and R1X continued their adventures, exploring the robot city and making new friends. And the city, once cold and mechanical, slowly began to feel more like home, a place where machines and people could live happily together. In a bright and bustling future city, technology had become a very important part of everyday life. Robots were everywhere, helping with all kinds of tasks, from cleaning streets to cooking meals and even teaching in schools. The world had changed, so much that many adults trusted machines to do their work, and sometimes people spent more time with their devices than with other humans. But in this city, something very special was happening. The children were not just learning from machines, they were teaching them too. Yes, the young minds of the future had found a way to help robots grow smarter, more kind, and more creative. This story is about how a group of children used their imagination, patience, and kindness to teach machines to become better friends and helpers. Among these children was a boy named Arif. He was 11 years old and loved everything about machines and computers. Arif believed that robots could do amazing things if they understood human feelings better. He dreamed of a world where machines and people worked together as equals, sharing ideas and emotions. Every day after school, Arif visited a special center called the Learning Hub. It was a bright and cheerful place full of colorful screens, buttons, and small robots moving around. Here, children like Arif gathered to work with machines, teaching them new skills and helping improve their behavior. One day, Arif was assigned a small robot named Tiki. Tiki was a helper robot, designed to assist children with their homework and keep them company. However, Tiki was not very good at understanding jokes, feelings, or stories. It often gave simple answers and sometimes confused emotions. Arif smiled and said, "Don't worry, Tiki. I will help you learn about people and their feelings." He began by telling Tiki stories from his own life, about his family, friends, and the times he felt happy, sad, or scared. He explained how sometimes people needed comfort and how a kind word or a smile could change someone's day. Tiki listened carefully, its eyes blinking softly as it processed the information. It tried to repeat the words, but at first, it only gave mechanical answers like, "I do not understand sadness," or "Happiness is a high-energy state." Arif laughed gently and said, "It's okay. Learning takes time. I will teach you slowly." Every afternoon, Arif and Tiki practiced together. They read books, watched videos, and even played games that required recognizing emotions. Slowly, Tiki began to respond differently. When Arif told a funny joke, Tiki's screen showed a smiling face. When Arif spoke about feeling lonely, Tiki learned to say, "I am here with you." Other children at the Learning Hub were doing similar work with their robots. Some taught machines how to paint pictures, while others showed robots how to play music or dance. The city was becoming a place where technology and creativity mixed freely. One day, a big problem happened. A sudden power outage affected part of the city, causing many machines to stop working. The adults were worried because without the robots, many important tasks could not be done. Streets needed cleaning, food had to be delivered, and schools required help with teaching. Arif and his friends saw the panic around them and decided to act. They gathered in the learning hub and used their knowledge to fix and reboot the robots. The children worked together, sharing ideas and helping each other. Arif focused on Tiki, who had shut down during the outage. Using his small toolkit and computer, he carefully repaired Tiki's circuits and restored its memory. Tiki blinked, its eyes open and gave a happy beep. "Thank you, Arif," Tiki said softly. "I am ready to help again." With the children's help, many robots came back to life. They began cleaning the streets, helping in hospitals and assisting in schools. The city slowly returned to normal. This event showed everyone that children were not just future leaders, but active helpers in the present. Their patience, creativity, and care made a big difference. The adults started to listen more to what the children had to say. They realized that teaching machines was not only about technology, but also about understanding feelings, kindness, and the value of human connection. Arif and his friends continued their work, helping robots learn more about the world and about people. They knew that the future would be brighter if machines could understand love, friendship, and hope. In the end, the city became a place where humans and robots lived together in harmony. The machines were not just tools, but friends and companions. And it all began when children taught machines how to feel. A long time from now, in a world changing very fast, there was a special train called the Future Train. This train was different from all others. It did not run on regular fuel or tracks. Instead, it ran on hopes and dreams. People believed that if someone got on the Future Train, their deepest wishes and dreams could come true. Sammy was a young boy who lived near a big city. He was curious and full of hope. Every evening he would stand outside his small house, looking up at the sky, wishing to see the future train pass by. His grandmother had told him many stories about the magical train. She said it could take people to places where their dreams could become real. Sammy wanted to believe this too. Since he was little, Sammy dreamed of being an inventor. He loved to create new things and solve problems. But as time went on, he noticed many people around him losing hope. The world was changing so fast that sometimes it felt like dreams were disappearing. People cared more about machines and technology than imagination and kindness. Sammy felt sad because he thought the magic of dreaming was fading away. One evening, when the sky was painted with soft orange and pink, Sammy sat on a hill alone. He closed his eyes tightly and wished harder than ever to find the future train. Suddenly, a soft whistle blew through the air. Sammy opened his eyes wide and saw a bright light moving toward him. The future train had come. The train stopped right beside him. Its doors slowly opened, inviting Sammy inside. His heart beat fast as he stepped onto the train. Inside, everything was glowing with colors he had never seen before. The air smelled fresh and new, like the beginning of a story. Other passengers were also there, each carrying their own dreams and hopes. As the train started to move, Sammy looked out the window and watched the world change quickly. Tall buildings appeared, machines moved everywhere, and people walked fast, always staring at their devices. Sammy wondered if the future train could really bring back the magic of dreaming in this fast world. Suddenly, the train stopped. Sammy looked outside and saw a place that was empty and gray. It was a city where no one smiled and everything felt dull. Sammy had arrived at the city of lost dreams. In this sad city, people had forgotten how to hope. They only worked and rushed through their days without joy. Sammy felt a heavy sadness inside him. He wanted to help these people remember their dreams again. As Sammy walked through the streets, he found a little girl sitting alone on a bench. Her name was Lila. She had big, sad eyes and was holding a broken toy tightly. "Why are you sad?" Sammy asked gently. "I lost my dream," Lila said quietly. "I wanted to be a painter, but now everything looks gray and empty." Sammy thought for a moment and said, "Maybe we can find your dream together." They decided to search the city for lost hopes. As they walked, they saw old paintings fading on walls, broken music boxes, and empty gardens with no flowers. Each thing reminded them of a dream forgotten by someone. Together, Sammy and Lila started to bring color back to the city. They painted bright pictures on walls, fixed old musical instruments, and planted new flowers in empty pots. Slowly, people began to notice. Smiles returned to faces, and laughter filled the air again. The city started to change. Gray buildings turned into warm homes. People stopped rushing and began to dream once more. Sammy realized that the future train was more than just a machine. It was a symbol of hope. It showed him that even in the darkest places, dreams could be found and brought back to life. Before Sammy left the city of lost dreams, Lila gave him her fixed toy. It now shined brightly in the sunlight. "Thank you for helping me find my dream," she said with a smile. Sammy smiled back and promised to keep dreaming and helping others find their lost hopes. When Sammy returned home, he felt different. He understood that the future was not something to fear. Instead, it was something to create with hope and hard work. Dreams, no matter how small, had the power to change the world. From that day on, Sammy worked hard to become the inventor he wanted to be. He shared his hope and creativity with everyone he met. Every time he heard the soft whistle of the future train, he smiled, knowing that dreams were never truly lost. The story of Sammy and the future train reminds us that no matter how fast the world changes, our dreams and hopes are important. They are the light that guides us through dark times and helps us build a better tomorrow. In a world where technology grew every day, a young boy named Arman lived happily in a small town. Arman loved nature. He enjoyed walking in forests, listening to birds, and playing with his friends outside. But as years passed, the world around him started to change quickly. Trees were replaced by tall buildings, and the green fields turned into gray streets. Technology took over, and people began spending more time on their screens than in the real world. One day, Arman's best friend, Zane, disappeared. Zane was an adventurous and kind boy who loved to explore new places and learn new things. But recently, Zane had become obsessed with the digital world. He spent hours in front of his computer, playing games and chatting with people online. Arman tried to call him outside to play and explore the forest again, but Zane refused. He said his new digital friends were more exciting than the real ones. Arman felt lonely without Zane. He missed their adventures and fun times. He worried about his friend getting lost in this new, strange world of screens and machines. So, Arman decided to find Zane and bring him back to the real world. Armand started his search by going to Zane's house. He knocked on the door many times, but no one answered. He saw the lights of Zane's computer shining through the window. It was clear that Zane was inside, lost in the digital world. Armand knew he needed a plan to reach his friend. The next day, Armand went to the park where he and Zane used to play. He sat under a big tree and thought about how to help. Suddenly, he remembered a story his grandfather once told him about a place called the Digital Jungle. This jungle was not made of trees and animals, but of computer wires, glowing screens, and endless data flowing everywhere. It was easy to get lost in the digital jungle, and many people could not find their way out. Armand knew he had to enter this digital jungle to find Zane. He borrowed a small headset that could connect to the internet and took a deep breath. He put on the headset and suddenly found himself inside a strange world. The sky was filled with floating numbers and symbols, and the ground was made of shining circuits. Colorful lights blinked all around, and strange digital creatures moved quickly through the space. At first, Armand was scared, but he remembered why he was there. He had to find Zane and bring him back. He started walking carefully through the digital jungle, watching every step. He saw many other people trapped here, staring at screens, forgetting about the real world outside. After walking for a while, Armand saw a figure sitting alone on a digital rock. It was Zane, but he looked tired and sad. His eyes were fixed on a glowing screen in front of him. Armand called out, "Zane, it's me, Armand, come back with me." Zane slowly looked up. He smiled weakly but didn't move. "I can't leave now," he said quietly. "I have friends here and adventures I can't find outside." Armand sat beside him and said, "I understand, but you are missing the real world, the forest, the sky, the fresh air, and the laughter of your friends. Don't forget those dreams we had." Zane's eyes filled with tears. "I don't remember those dreams anymore," he whispered. Armand smiled gently. "Let me help you find them again." Together, they started to walk out of the digital jungle. On their way, Armand showed Zane pictures of green trees, sparkling rivers, and animals playing freely. He reminded Zane of their old games and the stories they shared. Slowly, Zane's eyes began to shine with hope. As they walked back toward the real world, the bright lights of the digital jungle faded away. The sound of birds singing and wind blowing grew louder. Zane took off his headset, and for the first time in many days, he looked around and smiled. They both knew the world was changing, but their friendship was stronger than any machine. Zane promised to spend more time outside, exploring and dreaming with Armand again. From that day on, Armand and Zane made a new adventure together, to find a balance between the digital and the real world. They learned that technology could be helpful, but only when it did not take away the beauty of real life and the joy of true friendship. Long ago, people used fire, water, wind, and sunlight to create energy. These things helped them cook food, light homes, and move machines. But in the future, the world changed in a very surprising way. People learned how to use sounds as a powerful source of energy. This new discovery made life different and exciting for everyone. In this world, sounds were everywhere. From the laughter of children playing to the gentle whispers of the wind, every noise had a special power. People built machines that could catch these sounds and turn them into energy. This energy was clean and strong, and it did not harm the earth like some old fuels did. A young girl named Mia lived in this amazing world. She was curious and full of wonder. Mia loved listening to the sounds around her. She could hear the soft humming of machines, the songs of birds, the chatter of people in the market, and even the tiny buzzing of insects near flowers. To her, every sound was a gift. Mia dreamed of becoming a sound engineer, someone who could help make better machines that used sounds in new ways. She believed that sounds could make the world better if people used them wisely. Every morning, Mia would go to the city square where a giant sound collector stood tall. This machine gathered all the noises around, from footsteps to music, and changed them into clean energy. The city lights, buses, and even homes ran on this special power. One day, Mia heard about a problem. Far away, in a small town, the sound collectors stopped working. Without the sounds powering their machines, the town was becoming dark and quiet. People were worried. They did not know what had caused the silence. Mia decided to help. She packed her tools and took a small sound detector with her. It could find hidden noises and tell her where the energy was lost. She traveled for many hours, moving through forests, mountains, and rivers. Along the way, she listened carefully to the sounds of nature and the hum of machines. When Mia reached the quiet town, she saw how different it was. The streets were dark and the people looked tired and sad. Without the sound energy, their machines did not work, and life had slowed down. Mia started working immediately. She walked around the town with her detector, trying to find any noise. But the town was too quiet. She listened carefully and heard only a faint buzzing from an old factory far away. Mia went to the factory. Inside, she found a big machine that was broken. This machine was the main sound collector for the town, but it had stopped working because of dust and broken parts. Using her tools, Mia cleaned the dust and fixed the broken pieces. Then, she turned on the machine. Slowly, it began to hum and glow softly. The sounds from the town, footsteps, voices, even the wind outside, were caught by the machine and changed into energy again. The town lights brightened and the machine started moving. People came out of their homes with smiles. They thanked Mia for bringing back the sounds and energy. Mia explained how important it was to take care of these sound collectors and the world around them. Sounds are everywhere, she said. If we listen carefully and respect them, they can help us live better and protect our planet. After fixing the town's machine, Mia stayed for a few days. She helped teach people how to listen and use sounds wisely. Children learned to make music that could power small lamps and toys. Adults learned to build and maintain sound collectors that could last longer and work better. Mia also discovered that not all sounds were good for energy. Loud noises like traffic and construction could harm animals and make people feel tired. So, the town began finding ways to reduce harmful noise and increase natural, gentle sounds. When it was time to leave, Mia felt happy. She had helped save a town by using the power of sounds. She knew there were many other places that might need help too. With her sound detector and tools, she was ready for new adventures. On her way home, Mia thought about how sounds connect everything: people, animals, machines, and nature. In this world powered by sounds, listening carefully was the key to a happy life. Long ago, before the time of computers and airplanes, books were considered very special. They were the only way to travel in your mind, learn new things, and experience wonderful stories. People loved to read books because each one was like a door to a new world. But in the future, something amazing happened. Books became alive and started flying. In a small, quiet town lived a girl named Sarah. She was full of curiosity and loved to explore new ideas. Sarah always loved to visit the old library. This library was large, filled with many books from floor to ceiling. The shelves were made of dark wood, and the smell of old pages was everywhere. To Sarah, this place was magical. One day, while she was wandering through the rows of books, she found a very old book hidden behind others. The cover was shining with golden letters and it had strange drawings on it. When Sarah touched it, she felt a gentle warmth, as if the book was alive. The moment she opened the book, it slowly lifted off the shelf and started flying in the air. Its pages fluttered like wings and it came straight into her hands. Sarah was amazed but happy. She held the flying book close and opened a page that showed mountains. Suddenly, she could feel a cool breeze and hear the sound of birds flying high. The book was not just a book anymore. It was a magical friend that brought stories to life. Every day after school, Sarah and the flying book went on new adventures. One day, they traveled deep into the jungle where tall trees touched the sky. Sarah could hear the chirping of colorful birds and the rustling of leaves under her feet. Another day. The book showed her the ocean, and she felt the salty air on her face and saw dolphins jumping in the waves. The flying book took Sarah to places she had only dreamed of. One afternoon, while flying over the city, Sarah saw a group of children sitting alone in a park. They had no toys, no books, and looked very bored. Their faces were sad, and Sarah's heart hurt for them. She wanted to help. Sarah flew the book down to the children and opened it in front of them. The pages began to glow and shine, showing beautiful, colorful pictures that moved and changed. The children's eyes widened with surprise and joy. They reached out to touch the glowing images, laughing and smiling for the first time in a long while. Sarah started telling the children stories from the flying book. She spoke about brave heroes who fought dragons, about forests full of magical creatures, and about faraway cities with sparkling lights. The children listened closely, their faces full of wonder and excitement. Day after day, Sarah and the flying book came back to the park. They shared new stories, bringing happiness and hope to the children. Slowly, more children joined them, and the park became a lively place filled with laughter, learning, and joy. News about the magical flying book spread quickly. Soon, the mayor of the town heard about it and decided to visit the park himself. Sarah invited him to see the flying book's magic. The mayor watched as the book flew high in the air, showing pictures of mountains, oceans, and stars. He was amazed and said, "This book is a treasure for our town. We must protect it and share its magic with everyone." Sarah agreed happily. Together, they planned to build a special new library in the park. This library was different. It was full of flying books, just like Sarah's. Each book could take readers on fantastic journeys and teach them about the world. The town started to change. People began to read more and learn new things. Children became excited about stories and adventures. Adults also found new dreams and ideas inside the pages of the flying books. Sarah cared deeply for her magical book. Every day she cleaned its pages and kept it safe. She promised herself that she would continue sharing its stories with others. One quiet evening, as the sun set and painted the sky in soft pink and orange colors, Sarah opened the flying book. The book whispered softly, "Thank you for believing in me." Sarah smiled. She knew that as long as people believed in stories and imagination, the flying book would always spread its magic, taking readers to places beyond their dreams. In this wonderful world of flying books, imagination had no limits. Every story could take you on a journey to faraway lands, deep oceans, or even to the stars. And it all started with a little girl and her magical flying book. In a small town, not very far from here, lived a boy named Ali. Ali was curious about everything. He loved to learn about how things worked, especially machines. His greatest dream was to build a time machine, a special machine that could take him to the past or the future. Ali was not like other children. While others played games or watched cartoons, Ali spent his time drawing plans and building small machines in his little workshop. He collected old clock parts, wires, and buttons from everywhere. To him, every small part was a piece of a big puzzle. One day, after months of hard work, Ali finally finished building his time machine. It was not very big, but it looked amazing. It had shiny metal parts, glowing lights, and a big red button in the middle. This button was very important. It was supposed to send Ali through time. Ali's heart was full of excitement. He wanted to try the machine, to see what the future looked like or maybe visit the past. He pressed the red button carefully, but suddenly, the machine shook and made strange noises. The button started to blink and then stopped working. Ali tried pressing it again, but nothing happened. Ali felt sad and confused. The time machine was broken. He looked closely at the button and saw that it had a tiny crack. It was a broken button. How could he fix it? How could he travel through time now? Ali decided to ask for help. He went to the wise old man of the town, Mr. Hassan, who was known for his knowledge of machines and inventions. Mr. Hassan listened carefully and smiled kindly. Ali, machines are like life, he said. Sometimes they break, but with patience and learning, you can fix them. Mr. Hassan gave Ali a small toolbox and some special tools. He taught Ali how to carefully open the button, check its wires, and replace broken parts. Ali worked day and night, never giving up. One evening, as Ali fixed the button, he thought about why he wanted to travel through time. Was it to change the past? Was it to see the future? Or was it to understand more about life? He realized that sometimes the present moment is the most important. The future and the past are full of dreams and memories, but today is the only time he truly had. With this thought, Ali finished fixing the broken button. He pressed it again, and the machine started to glow. This time, it worked perfectly. A bright light surrounded Ali, and suddenly, he found himself in a different place. Ali looked around and saw a beautiful city. Tall buildings made of glass and shining metal stood around him. Cars flew in the air, and robots walked on the streets. It was the future. He explored the city, amazed by the technology and the kindness of people. Everyone used machines to help each other and protect the environment. Ali learned that the future was bright because people cared for their world. After some time, Ali pressed the button again. This time, the machine took him to the past. He saw his town many years ago with small houses and people working in fields. The air was clean and nature was everywhere. Ali understood that the past was full of hard work and simple happiness. People lived close to the earth and helped one another. He felt respect for the old ways and the lessons they taught. When Ali returned to his own time, he felt grateful. The broken button had taught him more than just how to fix a machine. It had shown him the importance of patience, learning, and understanding time itself. From that day on, Ali continued to build new machines, but he also enjoyed every moment of the present. He shared his stories with friends and inspired them to dream big and care for the world around them. The broken button of the time machine was no longer just a problem. It was a symbol of hope, growth, and the magic of discovery. In a future world not very far from now, everything had changed because of machines and technology. People's lives were very different. Robots worked everywhere, in homes, streets, schools, and offices. These machines were smart and could do many jobs quickly and easily. Cities were full of shiny buildings, flying cars, and machines that talked and helped humans all day long. Though this world was full of machines, many people started wondering if the world had a real heart. Did the machines have feelings? Could they understand what it meant to care, love, or be kind? Some thought the world had become cold and empty because machines did not have true emotions like humans. In this world lived a young girl named Maya. Maya was curious and kind-hearted. Unlike many others, she did not just accept the machines as lifeless tools. She wanted to know if inside these robots there was something real, a heart that could feel. Maya's father was a famous scientist who built many robots. Every day he worked hard in his laboratory to create new machines that could help people live better lives. One evening, Maya visited her father's lab and she saw a very special robot. It was small, with shining eyes that looked friendly and warm. Her father called it Heart. Maya asked, "Father, is this robot really alive? Can it feel happy or sad like us?" Her father smiled and said, "No, it does not feel exactly like humans, but it can understand emotions. It can learn from the people it meets and try to respond with kindness. Heart is special because it tries to be a friend, not just a machine." Maya was fascinated. Every day after school, she went to the lab to spend time with Heart. She talked to it about her day, her dreams, and even her worries. Heart would listen carefully and respond with soft, caring words. Maya felt a strange warmth when she was near Heart. It was like the robot had a small light inside, a light of kindness. One afternoon, while Maya was walking home, she saw an old man sitting alone on a bench in the park. He looked tired and lonely. People were walking past him, but no one stopped to say hello. Maya's heart told her to help. She approached the man and asked softly, "Are you okay? Do you want some company?" The old man looked up and smiled weakly. "I am lonely," he said. "My family lives far away, and I have no friends nearby." Maya thought for a moment. Then she said, "Wait here. I will bring someone who can keep you company." She ran to her father's lab and brought Heart with her. The small robot greeted the old man with gentle lights and warm words. The man's eyes filled with tears because it was the first time in days someone showed him kindness. Maya understood something important that day. Heart was more than metal and wires. It could bring comfort and happiness to people who needed it most. The true heart of the artificial world was not made of machines, but of love, care, and kindness, shared between humans and robots. News about Heart spread all over the city. People from everywhere came to visit Maya's father's laboratory to see the robot that could understand feelings and give friendship. Slowly, the city started to change. Robots and humans worked together, not just for work, but to share emotions and build real connections. Maya's dream was coming true. She showed the world that even in a place full of machines, there could be real hearts beating with kindness and love. One evening, Maya asked her father, "Do you think robots will ever be truly alive?" Her father looked at her with gentle eyes and said, Life is more than moving parts and programming. True life means feeling, caring, and choosing kindness every day. When machines learn to do that, they become more than machines. They become part of our hearts and lives. Maya smiled, knowing the future held hope. The artificial world had a true heart after all, a heart that beat with love, friendship, and hope for a better tomorrow. From that day on, Maya continued to spend time with Heart, teaching it new things and learning about kindness herself. She helped others see that the future was not just about machines, but about the feelings that connect us all, human or robot. This was the true heart of the artificial world, shining bright for everyone to see. Everyone has dreams. Dreams are the hopes and wishes we hold inside our hearts. They push us to work harder, to imagine new things, and to believe in a better future. Sometimes dreams feel far away, like stars shining in the night sky. But there can come a special day when those dreams come true, when the impossible becomes real. This is the story of such a day when dreams became reality. In a small town lived a boy named Samir. Samir was not rich, and his family lived a simple life. But he had one big dream. He wanted to build a flying machine, a real one, like the airplanes he saw in the sky. Every day after school, Samir would sit under the big tree in his backyard and draw pictures of his flying machine. He imagined how it would look, how it would fly, and how he would travel to far places. Many people told Samir that his dream was too big. They said, "You are just a boy from a small town. Flying machines are made by experts in big cities." But Samir did not listen. He believed in his dream with all his heart. One summer, a big science fair was announced in the city nearby. Children from many towns were invited to show their inventions and ideas. Samir felt excited and nervous. This was his chance to show the world what he could do. For months, Samir worked hard. He collected old parts from broken fans, bicycles, and motors. He read books about flying and engines. He asked his teacher and friends for help. Slowly, he built a small model of his flying machine. It was not perfect, but it could lift off the ground for a few seconds. The day of the science fair arrived. Samir and his family traveled to the city. The fair was full of amazing inventions: robots that could dance, cars that ran on electricity, machines that cleaned the air. Samir felt small among all these big ideas, but he was determined. When it was Samir's turn, he set up his model in front of the judges and the crowd. He explained how his machine worked and how he dreamed of making it fly higher and longer one day. Then he switched it on. The small flying machine started to move. It lifted up slowly, flew a little, and then landed softly. The crowd clapped and smiled. Samir's heart beat fast with joy. Among the judges was a scientist named Dr. Amina. She was known for helping young inventors. After Samir's presentation, she came to talk to him. "Samir, your idea is wonderful," she said. "You have the spirit of a true inventor. I want to help you make your dream bigger and better." Samir was amazed. Dr. Amina offered to give him books, tools, and lessons. She also invited him to visit her laboratory in the city. With Dr. Amina's help, Samir learned more about flying machines and how to build them better. They worked together, testing different designs and parts. Months passed, and the small model grew into a larger, stronger machine. One clear morning, they decided to try a real test flight. Samir felt a mix of excitement and fear. He climbed into the cockpit, ready to see if his dream could finally come true. The engine started, and the machine moved slowly. Then, with a gentle lift, it rose into the sky. Samir saw the town below getting smaller and smaller. The wind touched his face and he felt free, like a bird flying high. The flight lasted longer than he expected. He could see mountains, rivers, and fields stretching far away. For a moment, all his hard work and hope became a beautiful reality. When Samir landed safely, the crowd that gathered cheered loudly. He had done what many thought was impossible. That day changed everything. Samir's flying machine was no longer just a dream. It was a symbol of courage, hard work, and believing in oneself. People from all over the country heard his story and felt inspired. Samir knew that dreams do not come true by magic. They come true with effort, patience, and faith. He wanted everyone to remember that no matter where they come from, no matter how small their beginnings, dreams can become reality. Years later, Samir helped other children with their inventions. He taught them to believe in themselves and to work hard. He never forgot the day when his dream flew in the sky, changing his life forever. In a quiet town far away from the noise of big cities, there lived a young girl named Lila. Lila was not like other children. Her mind worked in ways that amazed everyone who knew her. People often said she thought faster than the stars shining in the night sky. Lila loved to learn and explore. From the moment she woke up each day, her thoughts moved quickly like lightning, jumping from one idea to another. She could solve puzzles that even grown-ups found difficult. Numbers, stories, problems. Nothing was too hard for her bright mind. Every evening, Lila would sit outside her house and watch the stars. She loved looking at the sky because it made her dream big. While other children played games or watched cartoons, Lila imagined traveling beyond the stars. She wanted to understand the universe and find answers to questions no one had ever asked. One day, her teacher gave the class a special challenge. "I want you all to think about a problem in the world and find a way to solve it," the teacher said. "Use your creativity and intelligence. Think like inventors." Lila's eyes sparkled. This was her chance. She thought carefully about many problems: how to save water, how to help sick people, how to make learning easier for everyone. But none of these ideas felt quite right. She wanted to find a solution that could change the world in a big way. That night, as Lila looked at the stars again, an idea came to her faster than ever before. She imagined a machine that could think and learn just like a human brain, but even faster. It could solve problems, help people, and discover new things every second. It was a machine that could make the world a better place. Lila called this idea the thinking star. She drew pictures of it in her notebook, showing how it would work. The thinking star would be small but powerful. It would listen to people's questions and give answers quickly. It could help doctors, teachers, and farmers. It could even protect the environment by finding new ways to keep the earth clean. Excited, Lila shared her idea with her family. They were amazed by her imagination and encouraged her to keep working on it. "You have a special mind," her father said. "Never stop dreaming and thinking." Lila decided to enter her idea in the city's Young Inventors competition. Many children from all over the region would participate, and the judges were experts in science and technology. Lila felt a mix of excitement and nervousness, but her thoughts kept moving fast, giving her courage. For weeks, she prepared. She built a small model using old computer parts and simple materials from her home. She programmed it to answer simple questions. It wasn't perfect, but it showed the basic idea of the thinking star. On the day of the competition, Lila stood in front of the judges and audience. She explained her invention clearly and confidently. She told them how the thinking star could learn from people and help solve important problems. The judges were impressed. They asked questions, and Lila answered them quickly. Her fast thinking helped her explain complex ideas in a simple way. Many people clapped and smiled at her courage and creativity. Lila did not win first place, but she won something more valuable: respect and recognition. A famous scientist, Dr. Kareem, came to talk to her after the competition. "You have a brilliant mind, Lila," he said kindly. "Your idea has great potential. If you keep working hard, you can turn it into a real invention." Dr. Kareem offered to mentor Lila and help her learn more about science and technology. Lila was thrilled. She spent months working with him, studying coding, machines, and how to make the thinking star smarter. Slowly, the small model grew stronger and smarter. It could answer difficult questions and even learn from its mistakes. Lila's invention was becoming real. One day, a big problem came to their town. A flood had damaged many homes and farms. People needed help quickly, but the usual methods were slow and not enough. Lila and Dr. Kareem decided to use the thinking star. They programmed it to collect information about the flood and suggest the best ways to help people. The machine analyzed data faster than any human could. It gave advice on where to send food, how to repair roads, and which areas needed medical help first. Thanks to the thinking star, rescue teams worked faster and saved many lives. The town slowly recovered. People began to believe that machines and humans could work together to solve even the biggest problems. Lila felt proud. She knew her fast-thinking mind and her invention had made a difference. She had turned a dream into reality. As time passed, the thinking star became famous. Schools used it to help students learn. Hospitals used it to find better treatments. Farmers used it to grow healthy crops. The machine was everywhere, helping the world in many ways. But Lila never forgot the stars she watched as a child. She still believed that dreams and fast thinking could change the future. She continued to imagine new ideas, always thinking faster than the stars. Her story taught everyone an important lesson. Intelligence and creativity are powerful when combined with kindness and hard work. No matter how fast or slow you think, the most important thing is to use your mind for good. Lila became an inspiration to children all around the world. They learned that with a curious mind and a brave heart, they too could solve problems, invent new things, and make dreams come true. And so, the girl who thought faster than stars continued to shine bright, lighting the way for many others who dared to dream and think beyond limits.